laggy. Figuring this out as I go. The first play that I have pulled up here is going to be a wide zone to the right. What looks like wide zone to me anyway. So I'm going to point out a couple of things on this play, particularly Chin. We're going to look at Chin. We're going to look at we're going to look at Marquise Haynes and Yetur up here on this edge. Probably the most important person, I would argue, in defending an outside zone run play is going to be this play side defensive end. He has to win leverage and maintain outside leverage on this guy that's responsible for him to force this thing back inside. If not, we're going to have a real tough time keeping backs from getting around the edge on us. So he needs to force it back inside. Everybody else needs to maintain their gap and take care of it when the running back tries to bend it back into their gap. So let's watch Yetur first here, and we'll see that is exactly what we want. This right tackle's back is inside. The running backs are coached to read the back of their blocker, not necessarily the defender. So as this starts to play out, we'll see Yetur's got great leverage. He's in a great position to force this thing back inside. Tackle's playing from behind, almost having to block him in the back here. And so Chubb's going to do exactly what he should do, which is bend this thing back inside. 71 right here. This is bad. This is bad. He's very off balance. He's got his head down. He wouldn't see where, the ball is to make a play even if he could. All around bad right there. Marquise Haynes, this is the thing that I wanted to touch on here. There is a reason why coaches do not coach defensive linemen, really anybody, to run plays on the other side of the field with their shoulders squared like this to the sideline. And the reason for that is because you cannot make a play. A, you can't make a play on the running back if he decides to cut back. B, Marquise can't do anything to engage the guy that's blocking him in Njoku right now because he's got his back to him. And that's just not smart. So what would be a lot better is if he was engaging with his arm out, fighting off this block, playing down the line, and instead he gives up his back, lets Njoku push him in the back. And by the way, this is not blocking in the back because he presented his back to the blocker. So it's fair game for Njoku to do what he's doing. That's not good. So far, Yetur good, Haynes not good, 71 real bad. And Chin, if we back up just a little bit here, we can see Chin is a much better example of keeping his shoulders pretty squared to what's going on here instead of how Marquise Haynes is doing it. And he comes flying down. It looks like he peeked Brissett back here, making sure that he didn't keep it on the boot. He made sure that he didn't. He comes flying downhill and makes a good tackle. Admittedly, I think that it's a little high. And, I think that basically he kind of bounces off Chubb a little bit right here, and that's what allows him to get an extra 4 yards after contact. 3 yards after contact, it looks like. But at the end of the day, he got him down by himself. And if everybody on our team was tackling like this, we wouldn't have given up 1 million rushing yards to the Browns week 1, and we probably would have won. So good on Chin. It makes me wish that we would keep him in the box a lot more, especially with how we struggle against the run. Chin can take a whole side of the field, outside zone away, and he's even making plays backside right here. So that's awesome. Okay, next play here. I really just wanted to put this one in to show that I didn't see this the first time around. I think that the person at fault here is going to be Damian Wilson. And that's because we've got pulling guards, okay? If there's ever been a bigger red flag that the ball is coming to you, it would be, 2 pulling guards coming at you. So we've got every red flag in the world telling Damian Wilson right now that the ball is coming over here, over here, over here. And we've got Shaq, and it looks like to an extent Frankie Louvu are both understanding this. They're seeing what's happening. They're trying to come downhill, and Damian Wilson is just standing here flat-footed. Right? Shaq has made up 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards before Damian Wilson has moved. Why? I have no idea. But you'll see Shaq comes, dicks on his block, fine. Damian Wilson is free. Brian Burns is engaging with his blocker. Brian Burns has managed to kind of keep his guy off of him. This looked like a hold to me, but whatever. He's managed to keep his guy off of him and bend this thing, force the running back to bend this thing back inside. Great. There's a lot of room here for Damian Wilson to come up and make a play. And it's 3rd and 4, and we need to get off the field. Stands there. Instead of engaging the blocker and trying to take the fight to them, he tries to dip underneath this thing. And this right here is what I would call a block in the back. So Browns got away with one there. It wasn't good by Damian Wilson in setting himself up for that, but at the same time, that was a little bit of a freebie for the Browns. Okay, what we've got next. Yeah, this is going to be the rag on Damian Wilson segment of the video here. Here we go again. So we've got jet motion. And this is something that I noticed on several plays. Watch the spacing between Littleton and Damian Wilson right here. Looks like we've got Shaq off the field, needs a breather. And we've got to do a better job with our backup guys. So spacing right here, we are a yard or two from each other. This is not good, smart defense. If Damian Wilson slides down with the jet, cool. Corey Littleton, I mean, it looks like he does, but we just shouldn't be in a situation where these guys are guarding the same 3 yards of space. What we see afterwards, though, is Corey Littleton is going to come take on a block. He's engaging. Fine. Looks like he's getting held as well. And then Damian Wilson has a free shot at the runner, which is all you can ask for. This is what we missed so much from the Luke Kuechly days, is that Luke Kuechly would have made this play. I know that it isn't super easy, but I tell you what he can do. He cannot dive at Chubb. Collectively, as a unit, one of the biggest areas of improvement is our tackling right now, and it's largely because we're doing this and diving at people and not bringing our feet. And that's a really fundamental, should be easy to fix issue. That also, for what it's worth, if anybody probably noticed this play actually got called back for a holding, and that hold was right here with Wyatt Teller. So if you watch this play out, Henry Anderson, I believe it is, has done an okay job in run defense. I mean, this is exactly what you want, but hold. So that one comes back too. But regardless, Damian Wilson not impressing me so far. Okay, right here we have a screen to McCaffrey. Something that I don't like, as someone who designs plays for the team that I coach, admittedly not anywhere remotely close to this level, I don't like faking play action, faking runs and then throwing screens to the runs very often. And it's because it draws the attention of the guys that are going to make this play a lot more difficult over there anyway. So we'll see. We fake the handoff. He's coming over. He's going to start to come over. Yeah, they're all right there. There's nobody blocking him. This is not really open. Somehow Christian's going to get it. Got a free blocker. This is not open. I don't like this play call. And yet somehow Christian makes the guy miss, as he always does, which is, a chance for me to go on my very quick tirade about the play calling in the first half. Christian McCaffrey is a lock. He is a lock to make the first guy miss on virtually every play. If you can do that, you've got a good chance to get 3, 4, or 5 yards. And we should have been doing that a lot more to help Baker out as he got started and alleviate some of the pressure and some of the batted balls and things that we saw. This kind of stuff right here, we should have done a whole lot more of. Admittedly, I would have liked to see a different way of going about it. But Play call that I don't like still ends up resulting in a freaking 32-yard catch, I believe it was, just on his athleticism and his playmaking ability alone. Now, I put this play on here also because I think this is the first play that we're going to look at that Ian Thomas is really not getting the job done. So we see Thomas up here. It looks like he's responsible for helping, or at least taking care of Myles Garrett. It looks like he's responsible for it by himself. And a lot of people are probably going to hear that and say, why on earth are we making Ian Thomas block Myles Garrett alone? Well, it's because the play's not going anywhere remotely close to there. And this is what's so frustrating about this holding penalty. We are going way over here on a screen. First off, it's a screen. So if Myles Garrett gets through, fine. That just takes him out of the play. If he's over here, he's not over here. Right? So Ian Thomas is over here holding Myles Garrett clear as day, making the dude fall. This is a pretty obvious hold. I mean, I'm sorry that I can't give you a better angle of it. All 22 is not uploaded yet on NFL Plus, which is BS because it says that it should be available 6 o'clock the day after, and it is now Tuesday at 12 p.m. as I record this. So way to go, NFL Plus. But anyway, it's just not smart football. If you know that you're not near the play, you're on the backside of the play, it's a screen, it's a sweep, it's a bubble, it's a pop, it's something like that, tunnel, don't hold. The chances of your guy, even if it is Myles Garrett, making the play on that are so small. Just don't do something stupid. And this is just not smart. This is just not smart football. Yeah, sorry. That gets me really frustrated. I believe that this is going to be power to the left here. And it's another Ian Thomas snafu, we'll say. Yeah, right here. We've got, we drew this up, so we've got Icky, Ian Thomas, DJ Moore, all here, right here, where we're trying to run the ball, and we're trying to run the ball right at Myles Garrett. Questionable, but questionable decision. But at the very least, we've put some things over here to make it so that we have help. Between the 3 guys that we have here, no one blocks Myles Garrett. It seems to me that the design of this is for Ian to take on Myles Garrett. For DJ, I think Ian is supposed to kind of bend this out. DJ is supposed to come underneath and kick him out. And then it looks like Corbett might be coming through, pulling, trying to get to this backer. Ian misses. He completely whiffs. And you know what? Like, that's probably going to happen sometimes against Myles Garrett. I understand. Here's what I don't like. I've coached children who do this right here. Looking back at things that might have been. So not only does Ian not block Myles Garrett, he doesn't help with the next guy. He doesn't help with the next guy. Very, very late into the play, he realizes, oh yeah, I should probably, after Christian's past him, he realizes, oh, I should probably try to pretend like I'm doing something here. Plain and simple, it really irritates me that we have one of the best running backs in a long, long time, and we're trying to run, at the point of attack, we're completely whiffing. It's a miracle, an absolute miracle, that Christian is able to take this situation right here and turn it into positive yardage pretty much every time. Again, goes back to the fact that we should be giving him the freaking ball. All right. This one was rough. Some growing pains for JC right here. I do want to point out before we even get to JC, I mean, it doesn't really result in much, but this is a pretty nasty spin move by Brian Burns right here. And, I mean, I suppose it's the design of it a little bit, but it seems like if they weren't bringing chip help, he'd be right in Brissett's face. All right, now to JC. I'm not a cornerback coach. I'm not a secondary coach. So I guess take this with a grain of salt, but I do not believe that proper DB form is to be on your heels when you're trying to press and like falling away while you reach your arm out. If you're gonna press, press. I think when you get in trouble is when you do these little half-ass, quasi kind of pressing, kind of not, get on your heels, turns around and falls. What I'm excited about this play is that this is cover one, right? We can tell it's cover one man-to-man because of the eyes of the corners, if anybody doesn't know. If you're playing man-to-man, just like if you're playing man-to-man in basketball, if you ever played that, you're going to be looking at the guy that you're guarding. If you're playing zone in basketball, you're looking at where the ball is. You're standing in your zone, you're responsible for your zone, but you're looking where the ball is. And you can see the same thing with cornerbacks. If they're back here and their eyes are in the backfield, a lot of the time that means they're in cover 3, maybe cover 2, cover 4, some sort of zone coverage, because if they're in man, then all that matters is right here in front of them. Okay? And then we've got single high safety up here, which just means that this is, a kind of tough thing for a single high safety to get over to, especially because, I can't control this thing lagging and me not being able to stop it exactly where I want. But Brissett looked this off for a moment. He comes back over here. This is wide open. This is honestly a bad throw. Not accuracy-wise, but right here, Horn's falling. Just put it right on him. If he'd put it right on him, they probably would have got a first down and maybe more. But Xavier Woods comes over and makes a nice play, and I thought his play was pretty impressive all around. All right. This looks to be on Shaq here. What I do like is JC. He recognizes this as pitch very quickly. There's two guys pulling over here. JC understands I need to get my butt outside and not allow him to just run to the sticks on the sideline and get an easy first down. He does exactly that. Outside leverage, keeps an outside arm free. That's exactly what you want. He sheds it even better. Chubb is going to have to cut it back up inside. He can't go out here. It's not going to work. And yet, somehow, that's exactly what happens as he comes back inside. The only thing that he's able to do here, we've got two guys within a yard, and we let him get this first down. So why is that? Let's go back to Shaq from the beginning here. Recognizes it quickly. He's already on the move. Great. He's coming downhill. Good angle. Love it so far. I think here's where things go a little awry. He starts to slow up, and it's because he sees this gap. And I think that he gets baited into taking this gap when really he needs to be coming. This is a toss play. We need to be coming a little bit more at this angle down here. And so what happens is he tries to come underneath this block while this tackle or whoever this person is pulling out here is taking on Hartsfield. Shaq tries to get underneath it, which puts him at now a bad angle. This position right here, this is not a position we ever want to be in. Very difficult to make a play, and it's all about angles. Well, now we came downhill at too steep of an angle. We're terrified that Chubb is going to beat us outside because we don't know that JC kept his contain. And then once again, we leave our feet. To be honest, this is something that's really frustrating to me about our team right now is, these aren't issues that Shaq Thompson should be having. He is an established vet. And it's just bringing your feet. I work on this with the kids that I coach every day. And there are a lot of days, a lot of kids I don't think that have this much of an issue that are 16, 17, 18 years old. Working on the little details, guys. Little details are the things that we're supposed to do every day. All right, I think this is the last play, and what I like is Yeetor. Probably the only thing we'll really look at here because we can't tell what's going on back here because of the all 22 missing. Real quick though, this is a perfect example of what I was talking about with corner's eyes. Facing at an angle the quarterback, facing at an angle the quarterback, looking in the backfield. This is not man coverage. Okay, if it was, that wouldn't make any sense. They're probably bailing out, playing cover 3. I imagine there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like we're too high. So maybe this is cover 4, some variation of cover 2. Anyway, so we got a little boot action here. And you see Yeetor starting to come down. He's thinking, oh, run, run, run. At this moment, look at this. He already stops. I think that it's because he sees Njoku coming around here. But he stops. He doesn't over pursue. And he very quickly redirects to get outside of Njoku, because what Njoku wanted to do is pin him inside right here, let Jacoby get around. And that would give him all the time in the world to throw, A. And B, it would allow him to probably scamper for 5 yards, 10 yards very easily, even if nothing was open down the field, which is what happened because he ends up tucking this thing. But Yeetor really got around here. He gets in the face of Jacoby, makes him decide to pull it down, tuck it, take 3 yards, 2 yards. So I thought Yeetor did a couple of good things. I thought Jeremy Chin did a couple of good things. Rough tackling across the board, rough run fitting across the board. I will say that Matt Rule talked in the press conference about them just not lining up properly against the run. And I mean, obviously, I'm not in those meeting rooms. I don't know how they want them to line up. But I didn't really see anything in the film that I looked at that was glaring about lining up improperly. It was more just us not fitting the run properly post-snap, us leaving our feet and not tackling well. If I have more time this week, I might try to do a little bit more on the offense. But I didn't have a whole lot of time today, so I wanted to get y'all something, try this out, see if the audio sounds passable at all. I couldn't find my mic, so I will probably have to try to buy one of those, and we'll see if we can get a little bit better as we go. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this. I'll see if I can keep one going at least once a week, maybe 2 a week if I have time.